Now that you've shared your thoughts on what it means to count on, let's look back at our learning target. We will use the count on addition strategies. You've got it when you will create addition turnaround facts. So let's look at that one more time. If you are counting on for these parts or add-ins, we see that there are, show me with your fingers, how many dots. Add on one more part, and what does that equal? Well, how could you figure out the total if we looked at an equation? If you see there is 2 plus 9, how could you count on? Would you start with 2 or would you start with 9? Try it. Start with 2 and count on 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Or should you start with 9 and count on 2? Try it. 9, 10, 11. Which was more an efficient way to count on? Let's try this equation. If you have 3 plus 7, which add-in would you start with to count on? Would you start with 3 and count on 7? Or would you start with 7 and count on 3? Next, open your workbook to pages 34 and 35. It should look like this. Please put the date at the top. Today is September 26, 2017. Let's take a look at our step in. Look at these pictures. What do you notice about the hanger and clothespins on the left? And what do you notice about the hanger and clothespins on the right? If you had to write an addition equation for both pictures, how would that look? Please write underneath each hanger what the matching addition sentence or addition equation would look like for the parts of the clothespins in blue and the parts of the clothespins that are green. Write your equation for this hanger underneath. Then write a matching equation for the hanger on the right. Make sure you have your parts matching to the picture. The green parts are on the left and the right are the blue clothespins. What do you call a pair of facts like this? Pause and think about it. Turtle says, these are called turnaround facts. Turnaround facts have the same parts and the same total. We've heard those words before. Think about it. What did we say earlier that mathematicians call those parts and the total of an addition equation? If you remember, label what word does it mean for parts, and what word do mathematicians call the total? Press pause so you can write those mathematician words. Now let's look at our workbook. If you look at the step up, let's look at those directions. It says, write 2 addition facts to match each picture. If you look at A, we see that they've helped us out. 4 plus 2 equals blank. What does the number 4 represent on this hanger? Is it the green clothespins or the blue clothespins? When you turn the hanger around, the facts also turn around, or the add-ins, or the parts. If you imagine this hanger was turned around, then we would have the 2 blue clothespins on the left and the 4 green clothespins on the right. Do the same for questions B, C, and D. Press pause until you are ready to go on to the next page. At the top of page 35, you will be matching the left side of these addition equations to one matching on the right side.
I'm not sure.
The directions say, draw lines to join matching turnaround facts. Cross out the facts that do not have a match. So be extra careful and make sure that if you have a match, if you start with an equation, make sure it has a matching turnaround fact on the right. There will only be one match if it does have a match. Press pause until you are ready to go on to the next part. Number 3, or section 3 on page 35, the directions say, write true or false. So for A, it says 5 plus 0 equals 5. Is that true that that equation, 5 plus 0 equals 5, is the turnaround for 0 plus 5 equals 5? If you think those are matching turnaround facts, write true. If you do not, write false. B says 3 plus 9 equals 12. Is the turnaround for 12 plus 9 equals 3? Think about the parts and the total for 3 plus 9 equals 12. Is that a true turnaround fact for 12 plus 9 equals 3? Write true or false in the blank. If you are stuck, what could you do to help yourselves? Could you draw a hanger to find those turnaround facts and see if they match? Or what other tools could you use to help you get unstuck? Press pause until you are ready to move on after you've completed C, D, E, and F. Now let's look at our step ahead. It says, write the turnaround sentences to match. There is an A, B, and C part. A says 14 plus 2 equals 16. What would be the turnaround fact to match the parts and the total? Do the same for B. 3 plus 12 equals 15. What would that turnaround fact be? And C, 17 plus 0 equals 17. Fill in the matching turnaround facts for C. After you've completed step ahead, close out the video and you will go back to our Google Classroom. Under Module 2, Lesson 2 lesson, make sure you have completed these steps. You have watched the lesson. You have completed your work on pages 34 and 35. Now, leave a comment. How would you explain what are turnaround facts? Click in this area to leave your comment on how would you explain what are turnaround facts. When you are finished, you will go to Module 2, Lesson 2, Goal Sheets video.